Hi, welcome to our live. And today I'll talk about what to do when your in laws throw dirt on you. While this is applicable to both men and women, right? Which means husbands and wives, even people in partnerships. But, you know, in societies like that of our country, India, most often because woman gets married to a joint family, she goes into a family where the boy is staying with his parents, so she also joins him. There are more chances that the woman here in India who's getting married and who has gone into the joint family is more likely to be facing this kind of stone throwing by her in laws. Again, I would say I am not trying to offend anybody. That's a common story which all of us have been uh, going through or have been hearing about it. Okay, so while what I'm saying is applicable to everybody, but in particular I want all these women who have been subject of criticism by their in-laws to be listening to this till the end of the video and also practicing what I'm going to be saying. Okay. So there are three ways in which, when your in-laws, doesn't matter, father-in-law, mother-in-law, brother-in-law, sister-in-law, anybody, say, let's take for an example, just for the sake of this talk, let's take for an example your mother-in-law. Okay, she's the one who's throwing that dirt on you every time, every day, in every situation. There are three things you need to do. One thing is that you need to remember, you need to know, and become consciously aware that when she is throwing that dirt on you, she is actually not uh, saying anything to you, but she is reflecting her pain, she is reflecting her wounds, her hurts. So consider her like a person who's crying her pain. Okay, because whatever she is telling you, uh, all that is a kind of a suffering inside her. There is a high possibility that she did not have the kind of married life with her husband that she wanted to have. She might have suffered a lot. Okay, so all that pain has got accumulated, and now you're the best person who she can throw her pain on. She cannot do it on her son, she cannot do it on her husband. So you are the best person, and therefore she's taking it out on you, because she has herself has not been able to live the life of joy, love, and peace, and she cannot see you doing that. Therefore, it's a reflection of the pain. See her as somebody who is crying her pain. So if somebody comes to you and cries his pain or cries her pain, what do? Do you give it back? No. You try to empathize, you try to be compassionate, right? So step number 1 is understand that this person, whosoever that person is who's throwing dust on you, that person is not talking about you. That person is only reflecting his or reflecting her pain. Step number 2, as I said, if somebody is crying, you become compassionate. Now you might say, no, I cannot be compassionate to whatever she's been doing, so I cannot be compassionate. So if you cannot be compassionate, if you cannot empathize, the least you will do is not to give back. All right, because when you understand that it's her pain, what is it to give back? Right, either you give back compassion so that her pain subsides, but if you cannot do that, then the best thing to do is to stay neutral. Don't give back in negative terms, because if you're giving back in the same coin, that is a reflection of the pain inside you. That is a reflection of what you are going through, right? So if she's throwing dirt and you also start to throw dirt, that war will never end, because the moment you throw it, she's going to throw it again and then as a revenge you do that again. So there is not going to be any end to that war, and with that war, that kind of a war, you are actually making your own life miserable. Okay, but what are you looking for? You're looking for, definitely you're looking for the minimum thing, which is peace, right? Peace inside you. So to get that peace, second step is very important, wherein you will not give it back. All right. Third thing, which is the most important, and which when you follow the first two, then you will automatically start to reach the third one. And the third point is that you will rise to a level when you're practicing first two, then you will automatically rise to a level which is high enough, wherein you will not be getting impacted by any negativity around you, whether it's negative people, whether it is negative situations. With every negative situation, you will start to evolve, you will start to rise above all those, as a result of which, no matter what happens, it is not going to impact you any which way. Now third step is you know quite tough. In fact, all three are very very difficult steps, and once you start to practice, I also want to tell you, it is going to take huge amount of time for you to reach a level where negativity doesn't bother you. You will definitely reach, provided you continue to follow these three steps. And this essentially means uh, healing within yourself. Okay. And the important part, or the first step of the healing, is the moment you take that responsibility that my suffering is not because of anything on the outside, my suffering is because of me alone. I take the responsibility for my suffering. So the moment you take the responsibility for your suffering, that's the moment your healing journey begins. Now, this does not mean that you're blaming yourself. No. Taking the responsibility means what? Taking the responsibility empowers you, right? Suppose you take the responsibility of teaching your child, you feel empowered, you know what to do, you know what kind of timetable is to be made, you know what kind of reward needs to be given to the child, where should the child be taken so that he or she gets motivated, what kind of games, etc. So it empowers you the moment you take the responsibility. Similarly, when you take the responsibility of your own suffering, then your healing journey begins, and that's the uh, easiest and the best way to start on your healing journey. When you start to take that responsibility, then you will realize how step number 1, 2, and 3 will automatically follow. You will realize that if she's saying something, if she's throwing stones at me, then it's not about her. If I am getting impacted by that, then there is something inside me that needs to shift. There is something inside me that needs to heal. Okay, you got to heal that toxic part of you that is resonating with her toxicity. Okay, so that is how the first step is going to be. And when you have done the first step, then you know, okay, if there is some part of me which is resonating with her toxicity, and she's the one who's throwing her pains, then what can I do about it? The moment you turn inside and ask yourself, what can I do about it, instead of throwing it back, you will realize that automatically you will not be able to give back. Because the moment you turn inside and take the responsibility, you will start to work on it instead of giving it back. So that urge to give back will also not be there. And then over a period of time, the more you turn inside and start to observe what is happening, you will actually start to rise above whatever people might be saying or doing. So these are the three ways in which you can handle anybody, not just your in-laws, but anybody who is throwing stones at you. It is a tough process, I agree, and it is time consuming process as well. Nevertheless, this is so powerful that once you start to practice it, you will start to see how the changes begin to happen. And I want to tell you that, which I'm sure you must also be knowing, that success is never a straight line. What is success? We normally say that today you're here, tomorrow you're there, so this is what is success. But this is not success. Success is definitely going from one point to another. But if you ask me, number one, success is never a straight line. So even if you have to go there, so it's going to go like this, so which means you're going to fall 100 times before you reach there, right? And secondly, I would say what success is that, go back to yesterday. Are you a better person from who you were yesterday? If the answer is yes, you have made a progress. That is called success. Okay. If you are even a shade better than who you were yesterday, and you're able to, consistently maintain that, that is success. That is progress. Okay. So out of these three steps, start with step one. Okay. If you're able to do that step one consistently for about 10 days, that is success. And then you can do the second one, and then you can do the third one also. Take one step at a time, practice consistently for 10 days, 20 days, and then move on to the second step. Okay. uh, if you have any questions, please let me know in the comment box, or you can, if you're watching this video later, then you can let me know later. And I would like to know your experiences on when you follow this. What happens, what shifts inside, not on what changes outside, but what shifts inside, and how do you feel about yourself, and how do you feel about the situations. Okay. So thank you so much for those people who are watching it live, and if you're watching it after, at your convenient time, that's also great, because that shows that you are actually wanting to move ahead in life. And watching this video is a great step, that is, that you have chosen. Very, very grateful to you. And I'm going to be seeing you tomorrow, 3:30. You have a great evening, and take care. Bye.